What up, everybody in the YTBC? Big shout out to the UGC and hashtag come back to boxing. You get a chance, take a look at the links in the description of this video. Check out all my brothers in both those communities, and please give them a listen. If you feel compelled to do so, please subscribe. Now, this is actually the second video in a series called the Moistest Era. Unfortunately, I can't use my editing tools at this point in time, so this is going to be 100% and completely raw. But, you know, the content is going to remain the same. You know, I like to try to be as entertaining and as artistic as I possibly can, but I got to make do with what I have. Right now, I don't have editing tools, so it is what it is. But I think it's very appropriate today that when I talk about the Moistest Era, the thing I want to focus on right now are the fans. Now, I'm not talking about my subscribers, because from what I can gather, my subscribers aren't really all that moist. But there is a very large percentage of boxing fans who are extremely moist, who really can't take criticism of their fighters, who really can't accept that other people have opinions that oppose their own. To the point where they're making they're all up in the videos and talking shit and coming to our live streams trying to defend their fighters. Here's the reality. All right, I don't got time for that bullshit. If I'm being honest, I don't got time to go and listen to a bunch of channels that I know are going to talk a lot of shit that I don't agree with and then make videos about them. That's just not how I roll. But apparently there are others who do. Ironically, one motherfucker who's in a wheelchair got the nerve to call other people lame. But this isn't really about that specific individual. This is about just individuals like that individual, very like-minded. When it comes to my fighters, there are people I listen to who criticize my favorite fighters. But you know what? If they have valid criticism, I'm not going to bitch and moan. If they have invalid criticism, I'm not going to bitch and moan. Just as long as I can tell that they're doing their best to call it down the middle. We don't always got to see eye to eye. I don't see eye to eye with everything with Main Man Made Man. But I fuck with Made Man because I can tell that he's genuine. We're not always going to see eye to eye. You know, and there's other channels that I listen to. About 40% of the channels that I listen to have opposing views of my own. But I can respect those people. But I'm not so moist that I'm going to take a look at somebody's subscriber count and see that it's bigger than mine, and then feel like I have an axe to grind just because they have an opposing view, which is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing some other channels who got a chip on their shoulder because they don't like what we got to say. Well, I said what I said before I knew your bullshit ass channel even existed, and I will continue to say what I gotta say long after I dismiss your ass. That's just the fact. And I really implore and I really suggest to my brothers in the UGC and hashtag come back to boxing, the NBBC, and any other movement that I see that is really trying to further the sport. We ain't always gotta agree. But I implore y'all, don't fuck with these clowns. They're lame as fuck. They ain't got nothing better to do. And I'm sorry, but this dude in the wheelchair is like prime example. All right? We don't got shit to say to this dude. We really don't, because we don't give a fuck. He can make a million videos trashing the fighters that we support. We don't give a fuck. But you know why he doesn't do that? Because he got to get personal. And it's sad. Because you're the one in a wheelchair calling people lame. If you knew what the definition of that word was, you would see that you're a fucking idiot. Because you're essentially downing your own. You know, you're being very inconsiderate toward your own plight. But see, that's an internal problem. It ain't my problem. But this is the Moistest era of boxing fans. People can't take criticism. In the past, I've criticized Canelo greatly. And I've gotten so much backlash. Being that I'm half Mexican, I've been called basically the equivalent of a Mexican coon. Now here lately, I've been defending Canelo a little bit more because I think he is getting a lot of unjust criticism. Because to me, it ain't about the color. It's never been about the color. I give a shit about that. You know, you can yell all that rah-rah, getchy, all that America #1 and all that bullshit. But the reality is this. A bookie will be glad to take your American dollars because your dumbass refuses to accept that somebody from another country just might be better than your dude. All that, you know, tribalism bullshit does not matter to a bookie. You place that bet, your American fighter loses to that UK fighter or wherever that fighter is from, guess what? They ain't gonna say, oh, well, being that you were being patriotic, we're going to let this one slide. Nah, they're going to take your American dollars. That is exactly what the fuck that bookie's going to do. Some of y'all are fucking idiots. And then you want to get mad at hashtag come back to boxing, the UGC, the NBBC, and anybody else who is just basically speaking their opinion just like anybody else. Y'all want to call us biased. We don't give a shit if you think we're biased. Because we don't watch your shit. The only reason why I even know about this shit is because in my hangout, somebody brought it to my attention. But I ain't looking for that bullshit. I don't got time for that shit. It's childish. And this dude ain't the only one. We got people coming to our live streams who are trying to man defend. And I asked one of them recently, like, do you like torture? Like you know what the fuck we're about. You know we're going to say some shit that you don't agree with, but yet you continuously come back again and again and again and again. Ain't shit changed. We're still speaking our minds. We're still calling it how we see it. You just can't accept that it greatly opposes how you see it. So why the fuck do you keep coming back to our live streams? These are some of the moistest fans I've ever seen. If I don't like your content, I ain't watching. And I'm not going to make videos about your content because it's pointless. First off, whoever watches your videos, they're going to listen to you just because you're telling them what they want to hear. I could give a shit if that's 200 or 2,000 of them motherfuckers. They're sheep regardless. I'd rather fuck with the channels that we don't always agree. We don't. We honestly don't. But that's the beauty of it. We ain't so moist that we don't, that we're gonna, you know, leave. That, you know, we're gonna start ducking debates and shit. We're grown-ass men. And I guess that's the real difference between us and a lot of other communities or so-called communities. A lot of y'all are just full of kids. Fucking 19, 20, and 21-year-olds. While a lot of us are in our early to mid-30s. Some of us in our late 30s. Some of us have kids that are, you know, graduating high school or, you know, going to interviews for their first job. You know, a couple months ago, Black Horseman Promotions, his old, I believe it's his oldest son. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe it's his oldest son did an interview, you know, had his interview for his first job. These are the kind of people that I fuck with. People who are mature. But all this other bullshit where, like, you know, you're going to be a hypocrite and call us biased, and all the while, all you do is suck at the teat of fucking Al Heyman. Well, I don't really got time for that. Fuck that bullshit. Take your bullshit, feed it to the rest of your sheep. And whatever you got to say about me, fuck it. I don't give a shit. Go ahead, talk that shit. Because guess what? It don't faze me. To all my subscribers, anybody watching my videos, or you just so happen to stump on this video, I hope y'all have a wonderful and blessed day. Peace.